All right, everybody. It is 10 o'clock Eastern time. We're going to get started. This is, and I'd like to welcome everyone to the Now D1 Space Series for Uncommitted High School Prospects. This series, we do it every Monday through Thursday. Typically, we do it at 9 p.m. Eastern. We've got an exception tonight. We're going to do it at 10 p.m. Eastern. I'm Alan Gay, and this is Now D1 Speaks. Super excited. We've got Kaden Gustafson. He is a 24 uncommitted prospect. He's out of California, up in the San Francisco area. And hey, Kaden, are you out there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Well, fantastic, man. We're really excited to talk to you. Glad that you could join us and make an exception from our regular time and kind of be with us 7 o'clock your time. So thank you. Why don't you kind of kick it off for us? Tell us a little bit about yourself, like your grad year, your GPA, maybe a travel team that you're playing with, how you got into high school or how you got into baseball, maybe your high school.
Yeah, so I go to the Branson School. So as you said, it's out here in Ross, California, just outside San Francisco. And I guess, just a little bit about kind of my current teams and other things like that. So the current travel team I'm playing for is NorCal Black. So that's out here, obviously, local NorCal team. We'll be playing in a lot of tournaments and tournament showcase things like that this summer. And then also, obviously, I'm playing for my high school team at Branson. And we're a pretty small school. We only have around 350 students. But in our league, we play teams who are, 5 to 10 times the size of our actual school. So, a lot of good competition, a lot of D1, D3, JUCO high school talent, basically every game. But luckily, since we're a small school, I've been able to play on varsity ever since my freshman year. So, it's facing really good college pitchers and college hitters isn't as intimidating, junior year as it was freshman year. So I've kind of really grown used to it. But I'd say kind of growing up, what got me here, what got me to playing baseball is starting in, youth baseball in San Francisco, which is where I lived when I was growing up. And, the Giants throughout the late 2000s and early 2010s were, winning World Series every couple of years and just a really successful team. So around that time in the city, baseball was just kind of a huge sport. And, my parents loved it. And kind of just everyone around me loved the sport. And so, I've kind of just been around playing the game ever since then, and then just worked my way up till high school, and I still love it and still playing it. So, yeah.
Hey, what a great description, Cade. Thank you for going through that. And NorCal, for the people that are on Now D1, I am in Orlando, Florida, and I will tell you, I'm very aware of who NorCal is. They have a fantastic reputation. That is certainly not a regional type travel team. They have national recognition. So that's a big time travel team.
Yeah,
and certainly. And I'm thinking about maybe you didn't pick the school, your parents, however it came about. Smaller school. I'm assuming that's a private school.
Yeah.
How did you guys pick that school? Was it academically inclined, athletic? Was it a combination, or what kind of led your family to say, "Hey, let's go to Branson School"?
Yeah. Well, I grew up in the city, right? So it was always kind of cold and foggy, and a little cramped, kind of in my middle school and elementary school years there. And I guess the first thing that really piqued my interest about Branson was It's out in Marin, which is right outside the city. And I mean, even though it's right next to it, it's way warmer, way more kind of spread out. And Branson has a really nice campus, so that was a big kind of part of that. But then also very, very academically prestigious for a high school. And I really just, there are good high schools academically in the city as well. It's just Branson also among those schools has tended to have just a better kind of athletics program for a lot of sports, including baseball. So I'd say, just a combination of really the campus, the academics, and the athletics was kind of what brought me out to Branson.
Man, thank you for that description. Absolutely. And I can kind of picture that too. Obviously, you guys are competing against schools, as you said, much larger than you. So the talent pool is larger,
Right.
but the kids that are going to the Branson School certainly are extremely athletic as well. And
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
fantastic. Yeah, good stuff right there. So, what position do you primarily play? And a little bit of a loaded question, I guess you could say, but kind of describe your strengths and then maybe some areas that you're just kind of trying to improve upon.
Yeah. So um, for my positions, I'm a two-way player. So, take that with what you will. I like to view my pitching and my hitting as equal positions, but when I'm not pitching, I'd say my main positions are first and third, but I also dabble in some corner outfield. So kind of just all corners sort of. Uh, but for my high school team this season, um, I've pretty much been at first the whole season when I'm not pitching. But I've also started, I think, around 7 or 8 games, and came in to relieve for a few games. Um, I've been hitting kind of around the meat of the order at 4 or 5, basically the whole season. Um, and I'd say kind of my main or my biggest strength as a hitter, at least, is I've very good vision, um, at least like eyesight wise, 2015, and so that really helps me on putting the ball in play, and that kind of leads me to a lot of just well, one, a lot of balls in play, but two, pretty good bat control and a lot of good gap power. This year, I think I might lead the team in doubles, and I'm pretty high up there with uh, average and hits. Um, so I'd say definitely my vision and ability to put the bat on the ball is a big strength. But then also, being able to be a pitcher at the same time that I'm hitting, and just kind of that two-way versatility um, is another big strength uh, that really kind of is able to set me apart, I think. Um, and then I'd say another big strength of mine is endurance. Um, we've had a lot of games, over the past summer and winter over here in California. It's been a bit of a weird year for weather, and got really hot during the summer and really cold and rainy during the winter. So there was a lot of rain games that I had to pitch through, and a lot of, 100-degree games that I had to pitch through. And I guess just kind of dealing with that is something that I think I'm pretty good at. And yeah, and I'd say areas for improvement are just obviously, bigger, faster, stronger. Just got to keep hitting the weights and working in the cage, working in the pen. Yeah, improve for next season.
Man, what a great run through. But I got to tell you, it kind of made me feel bad with your vision, your 2015. I'm sitting here I'm sitting here with my bifocal glasses on, just kind of looking at my own personal notes. I don't want to say what my vision is, but I will assure you it's not 2015. So, hey, what a complete ball player, right? I mean, you're playing baseball. You're not limited to, you're not a PO, certainly. I mean, you're
Mhm.
playing in the field,
Yeah.
you're batting. I mean, that's exciting. What's your height and weight?
Right now I'm at 6'2", 200.
Awesome. Hey, man, that's a big kid. Big kid with a big brain. That's a
Yep.
good combination. Who would you, gosh, if you kind of look out at present day ball players, it could be a major leaguer, or it could be somebody that's in college currently, or someone who's retired. Kind of, who do you model your game after, or who do you think you resemble?
Um, well, I mean, I wouldn't really say I necessarily try to model my game after this player. Um, but what I've been told by my hitting coach is that I swing a lot or my swing looks a lot like Josh Bell. Um, he's playing first right now for the Guardians, and um, I mean, again, there's not necessarily like some certain aspect of his game that I'm trying to model, but I guess just that kind of the idea of his swing, helps me. I can watch his film to try and improve on my swing, um, and he plays the same position. I mean, obviously he doesn't pitch, but he plays the same position in the field, and yeah. So I guess Josh Bell.
Hey, there could be a worse description. There could be a worse person to model your game after, I'll assure you. Hey, do you prefer playing in the field over pitching? I mean, if you absolutely had to label yourself, what do you think you are?
I mean, if I absolutely had to pick one, I think it would honestly depend on the certain day because I feel like there's days where I pick hitting, days where I pick fielding, or pick pitching. But uh, right now, I guess I'm feeling like if I really had to choose, I'd pick to go as a pitcher because it's just pitching is just so much fun. You're in the action on every single pitch of the game. Um, and yeah, it's kind of just a mental battle up there.
Awesome, man. I love it. Thank you. Yeah, I wasn't trying to put you in a box, just kind of trying to get a little bit of your own mindset. You're very, very descriptive. Hey, you're absolutely in touch with who you are. And
Mhm.
I think anybody listening to that can certainly appreciate it. Hey, guys, anybody that's joined late, thank you so much for being here. We do this Twitter series Monday through Thursday, typically at 9 Eastern. Tonight, we're doing it at 10 o'clock. We record it and we'll be able to tweet it out later. But if you did join late, since it is recorded, you'll be able to hear it in its entirety a little bit later on. Um, so, Kay, let me kind of ask you here. You got a lot going on. I mean, you've been playing baseball for a while. You certainly have the academic piece as well. You've got your pitching side, and then you've got your position side as well.
Right.
How do you stay motivated to just kind of continue to improve your skills and really just kind of pushing yourself to get better?
Um, right. Well, I'd say definitely one of, or probably the most important part of staying motivated, whether it's in baseball or school or anything else, is you definitely need support from your family or your coaches or your teachers or whoever. And if they support you, and they also respect whatever it is and love whatever it is, then they're really going to be able to help you, um, put in the work, just continue, you know, continue your love for whatever it is, um, and I just say, with the help of your mentors or whatever you want to call it, you can really just kind of they can help you build up like a strong mental and a good work ethic. Um, and I think so. Yeah, that's definitely one of the most important things. But then, as well, you have to be, it has to come from inside you as well. So, you have to put in your own work. You can't just practice with your team or practice in class or whatever it is. You just have to want it, want, want to get better, and yeah, want to make it far.
Yeah, absolutely, man. No matter how driven you are as an individual, it really does take a supportive staff around you as well. And
Right.
who can be more supportive than your parents? And I love the way you frame that. And I can absolutely appreciate that as a parent. Hey, are you an only child?
I am, yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Hey, let me ask you something as we kind of think about your career. Starting out young. I love it when you were talking about San Francisco, the Giants. I mean, it was big time, 2010, so
Right.
forth. Maybe now it's the Warriors. I'm not sure. Well, the Warriors just kind of got knocked out. Maybe it's
Yeah.
basketball, maybe it's not. I don't know. But thinking about baseball, looking back over your time, there has to be some memorable moments, some certain achievements that kind of took place. And, maybe kind of tell us what those were. And more importantly, what did you really learn from them?
Yeah. So, I mean, I'd say just in kind of my recent memory, um, we we rallied against in one of our first games of the season. Kind of wasn't expecting a ton from the year, but we came out strong against the seventh ranked team in California at the time, Marin Catholic, and we took the game to extras and actually walked it off with a squeeze bunt. And so that was just a really just an insanely memorable moment. I mean, everyone was just fired up on our team, and it was just a great team game. Everyone on the team had a really good game. Um, I mean, same goes for the other side. No disrespect to the other team; they're super talented as well. They have a lot of college players on that team, but for us personally, it was a huge win, and at that point in the season, that kind of set the tone for us, and we were like, okay, we can go out, we can beat any team in, any team anywhere. Um, and I mean, yeah, that was just a really kind of well executed game. Just, I mean, just great all the way through. And I don't think I've really ever played in that many games that were that close to, just straight execution. No, it's not like we were, going off and hitting a homer every time, but it was just get a runner on, move him over, knock him in. Lot of execution. That game I was hitting fourth, but in the bottom of the eighth, you don't get asked this much as a four hitter, but I got a bunt sign and laid down the sack bunt to get the guy over, and that run ended up scoring and being the walk off. So kind of just a great, perfectly executed ball game. Um, so yeah, that was just a great memory. And then I'd say probably even more important than that, was this spring break. Our baseball team took a trip to the Dominican Republic, and I mean, baseball in the Dominican it's really life down there, and I have to say, like, that trip was really eye opening and really cool, and really also made me appreciate how lucky I am with all the resources that I've been given, whether it's baseball or basic living or anything. But I also learned that you don't need those resources to play ball, because the kids in the DR, I mean, a lot of them don't have a ton, but they still, some of them don't even go to school or have social lives outside of baseball. But um, all those kids down there, they just play ball all day, and I mean, just really have a ton of passion and feel for the game. And they just, all they want to do is just make it up and go play in the MLB. um, and I mean, I'd highly recommend visiting down there and seeing some of the baseball and playing some of the baseball. It's just really, really, really cool. Really, really eye-opening. Just, yeah, everything super memorable, super, super important. And I think, I learned a lot down there.
Man, what a fantastic experience. There's, no question about that. Even you kind of think about the Dominican Republic and maybe the circumstances, field conditions, the equipment they have,
Hmm.
not even going to school, all this kind of stuff. I mean, it's unbelievable how fortunate and how blessed we are.
Yeah.
Even just in certain areas of the country. I said I'm down here in Orlando, Florida. I look at a ton of video of kids playing all over the country, and it'll blow me away some of the fields that I see kids playing on here in America. And I
Yeah.
think about the pristine fields that we're playing on in Florida. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure you're in the same situation in California. It just kind
Yeah.
of makes you think, wow, I mean, we truly, hey, it sounds like you appreciate your surroundings, your upbringing, the opportunity you have. And hey, that speaks of maturity. So I give you a lot of credit there, Caden. And then, wow, isn't it incredible at the beginning of a season how you can have a game that really kind of kickstarts your season? And
Yeah.
as I was listening to the way you were kind of framing that entire game, I mean, it sounds like not only you have kind of probably drawn on that experience as the season's played out, but it
Mm.
sounds like the entire team has. It was almost
Yeah.
like,
Yep.
right off the bat, here was a rally point or jump start, and it just kind of propelled your season.
Yeah,
Hey,
absolutely.
where are y'all in the season right now? Have you finished, or are you already in the playoffs, or just kind of what's happening there?
Yeah, so we just finished our regular season last week, and I have to say I definitely think that we could have done better. I think we could have went undefeated this season, honestly, because it was just a really great year for everyone on our team. Um, but even though we didn't accomplish what our biggest dreams were, it was one of the best seasons our school had put together against um, this kind of competition in really like decades, maybe. Absolutely, in my high school career, this has been our best season, and I think actually a couple of the teams that we beat this year, our school hasn't beaten them, both of them, in the same year in maybe 15 or 20 years. And I think yeah, we're very happy with how the season, the regular season played out, but we're also very excited and hopeful for the playoffs, which start 2 days on Wednesday, and we're hoping to hopefully win those and make state and see where that takes us.
Man, that's so cool. Thank you. What a great year. What a memorable experience all the way around. Hope you guys absolutely do very, very well in state. Does California only recognize one state winner, or do they kind of split it where you have a Northern California and a Southern California winner?
It's all into one winner for the state, but there's a couple divisions, I'm pretty sure. So there's like there's like two or three winners, maybe.
Okay. All right. I wasn't sure. Big state out there,
Yeah,
obviously.
yeah.
Yeah. Hey, again, everybody that's joining, thank you so much. Really appreciate you guys doing this. This is a live interview. I mean, we do it live 4 nights a week. We're not rehearsing this. We don't go back later and cut out certain things that we're saying. I mean, you're just kind of getting Caden and myself, and we're just talking. And what's really cool about this, it gives people, kids, young men such as Caden, a voice. He's 6'2", he's 200 pounds, he's a corner infielder. He's hitting in the middle of the order. He's pitching. He's got a fantastic future ahead of him. He's got a 3.92 GPA, but it kind of gives him a voice too for coaches. instead of just looking at the athletic ability on a video and then looking at a transcript, it kind of gives them an opportunity to find out what kind of personality he has and things that are important to him. And I can tell, Kaden, you're a very mature young man, and absolutely enjoying today very, very much. Speaking of the 3.92 GPA, that doesn't just happen, and it takes a lot of work, obviously. And to be playing at the level that you're playing, not only having a great high school season and a great high school career, but you're playing for a big time travel team as well. That takes a lot of time as well. How do you balance the academic piece with the athletic piece?
Yeah, so I try to use as much of my time as I can during school, whenever I'm free, whether it's a free block or a break in a passing period or however much time I have before my practice starts to get work done and meet with teachers. And so I'd say, meeting with teachers is, definitely one of my biggest things to kind of balance, get help, get my work done quicker. And, I have to spend a lot of time on the weekend, kind of have to cut into some free time sometimes, but, just to get a couple hours in on the weekend. But honestly, I love playing baseball. Um, I'm fine with doing my schoolwork. I enjoy it actually sometimes. And so I'd say just overall, you have to kind of be on a strict schedule, but to me, it's pretty manageable and, I'm still able to enjoy at the end of the day, I'm still able to enjoy my day and get my work done. So.
Outstanding. Sounds like you could actually take on a little bit more work. No, I'm kidding you.
Yeah.
Hey, how about any particular players or coaches that have really been influential to you in maybe your development?
Yeah, so I'd say definitely my high school coaches have been very supportive of me, my career. Um, Also, just, some of my teammates, right? So we have three seniors this year, and they're all going off to play college, and they've just really, as well as in the past couple of years, players who have to play college on my team, but they've just been super, super insightful, super supportive. They're always looking to help make the team better, make their teammates better. So yeah, definitely my high school coaches and teammates, all very talented. But then also I'd like to point out my pitching coach, Jeff Pick, my hitting coach, Steve Detweiler. They've both really given me a lot of confidence over the past year and a half or so. Um, and, they both played baseball at a very high level and know what they're talking about and are really able to help me improve, help me understand. And I say they're definitely a big part of the reason why I've been improving so much.
Man, what a great network. You got tremendous support. One thing that kind of stood out to me as you were talking was the only three seniors on the team. I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you guys are a very, very young team. And it sounds like some of the experiences and the encouragement and the lessons and kind of the way you're looking up to some of the seniors, you're probably putting that in the memory bank for next year. I mean,
Yeah,
guys are going to
absolutely.
be looking to you and you're certainly going to have to respond. So super young team, man, you guys are really, hey, you're probably going to have a great year next year as well.
Yeah, I think, I'm hoping that we could do even better next year. Um, Junior class is kind of our biggest, so hopefully next year's our year. But yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. I could see that. Hey, thinking about the games and so forth and kind of describing the high school season, once you knock out a regular day at class and then turn right around and immediately kind of walk out onto the field, how do you get yourself prepared mentally to play And you may, hey, if you want to touch on it, you can do both sides. If it's, hey, today's the day I'm playing first base and I'm batting fourth, or today's the day that I'm pitching. How do you kind of get your mind right so that you're ready to roll?
Yeah. So, absolutely no matter what I'm doing that day, before my games, music is a big part of my life and a big part of my mental. And so I'll definitely, always be listening to music before my games, no matter what. Um, I kind of have a pre-game ritual where I'll stop and get a snack um, before my games. Just on the way, me and my teammates might just stop and grab a quick something. Um, but then also um, on days maybe where I'm pitching, I'll go the extra mile to try and get more water, stretch earlier, stretch more during the day, and I'll kind of just try to find time on game days where maybe I could stretch at school for 5 or 10 minutes, or just get a little extra water or a little extra food. Um, and maybe try and get a few throws in or take some tee swings. And so I think all those together really help me prepare for the games.
Yeah, absolutely. So you definitely have a routine that you kind of like to go through, and it is incredible. I mean, it's not like you can just show up and start playing. I mean, obviously, the mental part of the game is almost as important as the physical part. I mean, you got to have the skills, but you got to have your mind right in order to be able to perform and to overcome adversity.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, anybody again, thank you for joining. We certainly appreciate it. We are booked through probably the first part of June now, but we are looking for other uncommitted prospects to talk to. Generally, it's 23s and 24s, but as we turn into the summer, it's probably time to start talking to 25 uncommitted as well. If you have an interest and you're listening to this now, feel free to reach out to me. I'm at now_D1. You can send me an email. You can send me a direct message. I would love to get to find out who you are, go through a little bit of maybe a pre-interview, and then get you scheduled. Kaden, let's talk. Let's kind of talk back to your season. You're wrapping up. You're about to roll into Wednesday, which would be the playoffs. I'm assuming
Yep.
short-term goals, definitely win the state. Even short-term for next year, come back, have a great senior year. But then what are some long-term goals as you're kind of looking out over the next 4, 5, 6 years, and maybe even past that? I mean, so what are a couple of short-term goals, or maybe one specific short-term goal, and then just kind of longer term, what is it that you're wanting to achieve?
Right. So, yeah, as you said, obviously, short term, I'm going to be, hopefully winning the playoffs this year, next year. I'm hoping, our school can have, our best year next year and really improve and go out and maybe lead our conference in record, and just have a really great year. But long term, um, definitely focus. Definitely want to play in college. As a I want to go as a two-way player, but I'd be totally happy with playing as a hitter or a pitcher. Um, and my goal for that is just kind of want to find a team that's a great fit. Um, I hopefully want to be able to contribute as much as I can um, on that team, and just play my career through college, do as well as I can, um, grind as much as I can, and just see where that takes me in baseball.
Man, I love it. That's outstanding. And I wish you nothing but the best of luck, not only in your state run this year, but certainly next year. I mean, yeah,
Thank
I
you.
mean, it's a fantastic time in your life. I mean, it's very, very exciting. And as you're kind of thinking about that longer term goal, to play at the next level, you certainly need to be recruited. Could you kind of
Mhm.
give us some insight as to where you are? Are you just getting started, maybe putting out some feelers? Or are you already starting to hear from some coaches? Do you have some schools that you're already kind of saying, man, they would be at the top of my list. And you don't have to name any names, but I just kind of want to get a sense of where you are in the recruiting process.
Yeah. So far the recruiting process over the last kind of, I'd say like 6-7 months ish. It's been a lot of emails back and forth with coaches to many schools. I've talked on the phone with a few coaches as well, and that's been great. The coaches have all, they've been great. They've been positive. They've been talkative. So that's been good. Last fall I went to a couple camps. Just getting ready kind of for this summer, which is going to be a packed summer for me. I'm going to be playing in tournaments and showcases every week, and I'm going to be hoping to play in front of the coaches I've talked with, coaches I haven't talked with, and I want to show them what I can do, in front of them, and not just on a video or in a phone call. And in kind of moving on from the recruiting, getting into college, what I'm really hoping to find is just a team where I can keep playing, as two-way, as a hitter, as a pitcher. And I'm really just hoping to find a really good program where, I'll have coaches that can help me improve, help me get stronger, and just, be competitive, be a competitive team, win some games. And I guess also maybe, outside of baseball for colleges, really, really looking for a good math program or STEM program, and just kind of an academically challenging school maybe. But definitely focus on the baseball.
Man, Cade, that was a great answer all the way around. I mean, hey, I'm really excited for your future, and I've just gotten to know you, and I'm pulling for you 100%. I mean, you have got a fantastic future ahead of you. There's no question. I think you're obviously very baseball oriented. You've got athletic ability, but you're very academically oriented as well, and that's a fantastic combination. So I think I'm sure your parents are very proud and super excited about what's going to happen over the next few years. And it's a great time of your life, and it sounds like you've kind of got the mental capability here to kind of appreciate that, and to really just take in the moment. It's almost like when you're playing the game and you've got a big pitch to make, or it's a big at bat, or it's a big swing, where you can kind of just relax just a little bit, kind of take in the moment, and then produce. And this is kind of where you are in your life. I mean, this is your moment to kind of take it all in, start really appreciating it, and then it's putting the gas all the way down, right? It's putting the pedal down and having a great life. And you're right there on the cusp of it. Congratulations. It's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, before we do end it up, one little pitch for this little Now D1 Speaks. This Twitter space, we publish it as a podcast as well. And we're pretty fortunate to have it on Apple Podcasts. It's on Spotify, and it's on Amazon Music. I would certainly ask anyone that's listening to this live or will listen to it as a recording to please listen to it on any of those platforms, and hopefully you'll like it. And if you do like it, hey, give us a 5 rating. We would certainly appreciate that. Let's end it with this. As you kind of turn the corner, we alluded to the 3 seniors. You'll be a senior next year, and there's guys that look up to you. If you could look at the younger guys, could certainly be a freshman or maybe even a little bit younger than that. Somebody that's in middle school, really has a desire to play baseball. What kind of advice would you give kids that are younger than you that are really wanting to get into the game and be successful?
Right. So I'd say before high school, absolutely just learn to love the game. Don't kind of take it too seriously. Don't get caught up, because I know sometimes at those younger ages it can be stressful. But definitely just keep playing, have fun, and don't get hung up on the little things and a bad game or whatever. And don't let one coach ruin your career, because I've seen it happen with some great teammates and friends who were really good and maybe stop playing or don't play as much because of a coach. So definitely just focus on having fun when you're younger, and then I'd say once you get to high school, definitely as freshmen, I think one thing they might not do as much is hitting the weight room, and I'd say it's super important as a baseball player, to really kind of immerse yourself in not just the aspect of playing the game and hitting and pitching and fielding, but also other things regarding baseball, like hitting the weight room, watching film, or the past couple years I've participated in this thing called SABR. It's the Society of American Baseball Research, and just kind of really getting into baseball and your love for the game, and not just your performance on the field. And I think these experiences, me and some of my teammates went down for this Society of American Baseball Research conference, and we actually won this competition against like a statistics baseball competition against colleges that we were facing. And I mean, really, it doesn't sound like that would make my baseball experience any different, but I think that really did kind of give me some perspective and really increase my love for the game. And so I'd say just definitely, while also putting as much work as you can, make sure you focus on other things outside of just on the field. And yeah.
That's great advice. You'd certainly want to be well-rounded. There is no question about it. You don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. I mean, you want to become a complete person. And what great advice about jumping into the weight room. You can, my goodness, when you're already there, you're already a big kid. Yeah, I mean, you're 6'2", 200 pounds. But when you get to the next level in a couple of years, every guy there is going to be big, fast, and strong. And that's kind of the expectation. You don't want to go in as the little guy and try to be catching up. So man, what great advice. What a great time tonight, Kaden. I have really enjoyed talking with you,
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think you've got a fantastic future ahead of you. I'm going to be keeping up with you by all means. Anybody that was listening, I put a tweet in the nest. If you just swipe up on this space, and the main reason I did that is so that you could get quick access to Kaden. If you have an interest in knowing more about him or connecting with him, just click that tweet. It'll take you straight to his bio. He's got his email address there. You can certainly DM him. If you're more comfortable doing something like that with me, please feel free. Again, I'm at now_D1, and I can get him any messages as well. Hey, Kaden, what a great time. Thank you so much for being on the show. I will say that tomorrow night, we're going to go back to 9 o'clock Eastern time. We're talking to Landon Sable. Landon is a young man out of California, a little different than Kaden in that he is a 23. So that'll be exciting to talk to somebody that's a senior as well. Hey, Kaden, thank you so much. We certainly enjoyed this evening, and we're going to say goodnight.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for your time tonight. I know it's late over there, but yeah.
Absolutely.
It's been great.
Absolutely. Thank you, everybody, and good night.